We're live. In 1 minute, we'll start the conversation soon. All right, we are live. There are already 5 people that have already joined us. Thank you so much for joining. Hello to you. Welcome to the U-Turn. If you are new on this platform, then the U-Turn is advocacy platform that is currently educating, inspiring, and spotlighting the incredible work that change makers are making within our communities. So today we are spotlighting Dr. Akol Aguek, all the way from U.S. University of Vermont, his office, who has joined us to share his wealth of knowledge and experience today with us. So kindly share this conversation. We will be talking about education from access to impact, education as a tool for U-turn for transformation, personally and the larger society. So thank you, and share the conversation to reach many people. Akol Aguek is known for many things. I will not go right to introduce him, but I'll give him a platform to share a bit about his background. So, Doctor, welcome. Thanks for joining us. On the screen is my co-host, Puri George, Alakira, and Adina Alia, who will be helping me to facilitate this conversation. So, we want to start by a bit of introduction. If you could share a bit about your background and why the topic of education is so dear to you and a topic of the U-turn today. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Akol Kur, and Doka Salier, and Alakir, Pujola Kurijuaj. And late audience, die, man, call die, Pinum Ben, near Cole, being Chani, Chola Kola, Aguek Ngong, and a man of Wale, Akol Yana Wallen. Any of these, I think, any of these in late 1970s. I'm not sure. As we all know, I don't know exactly, and this rule, but it is between 1976 and 1978, around there. So, yen, my background is, and this is getting to why education is important to me. Pan dita tin rani chola gwengong nong diarji. Mama is getting it in the line. These are kind of number 5. So sometimes around 1982, 82, 83, 81, there was a decision about the Ingabelo to Kulik. And you can name Ingabelo to Kulik. I was not one of them, unfortunately. And so my education, to me, I really accident as a result of the war, but it was not something planned by the family. You can name in my family, era and chol Akol Aguek Ngong and Yakwal. Panchola Diden. Randa Chinem, David Magonangong, David Ayabunman, I told you, it's a name. Could you Lara and Lodge Chok, it's all Ngong Lunadol, Ngong Achito, right now. And so the decision was made na da kan ran tong ko lew badil to by ku baya take charge responsibilities to buy ku education was not part of teacher plan by my family. So into my background, how did I end up by education by access and jolo and betalim education it was in 1987 a decision of Kuala Manyangon Chilwela Mita later Kenyal Ukachin man one it was just an order again Kuala Manyang right now Juba man is a long guarantee in Kora but the man on a chinyale now it must be done it's way around it so the order actually I mentor between age of 8 to 15. Kekadia abaka jora later Ethiopia. It was a decision from Ben Nongarang. Ke order chagam commanders ke Ben ke zonal commanders on Mizabike. So Kwal took the order seriously from Chuayke to Chuayton. He gave the order so Koke Chilun within my age range, yet the manon can way meet with ya. So Chani Alvila we can get these. I don't know you are calling these by then, but I know Ngong at all. Your older brother. So ran Chilun in that age range, but never Jalabanial. So that was Ethiopia. The order was done. And in my life, by the way, PDH Ben growing up and Chetoba and Tauti. Ko you are money have a thing and Tauti. In that's my life. So on le order lane better pay Ethiopia in November 1987. Ko Nyanke chola with Ketia Patui. Kwale order Gambulu Lamba Ben tomorrow and Ben Maniding, I'm Ben Kolnyang. Kunairan Ken Mitke. Ken Kabay meet within this age range. Ken meet Kabaka ko Kabaka Jor yet. So go Nyan Ke go towards Belawuti, they chol Maria to Chue Kirko Yen. Lord Mankawa, Kula Yoko would be a call Bukala Bay. What you'll go Ben on Tay and on Mia Durkichi, I think it was about 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. at 10. The quite low in Dol, what could Keban Balong Daben. Lokunai the cheat about I believe it's about 9 a.m. Go watch it. Voila. Kuler ku cheat wo kolnyang. I get cheat about 12 noon. That you grow 10. Ka kwalbo bi manyding. Bi ku jol cheat in ye team ku ja kwal jol cheat team ku tar. Ko ja ga jal nyo pen ku jol ko kwen kolnyang ben. Nong chwe kid ku kolnyang ben. Go ya oba ke chira over 1,000. So Kulnyang on from Chue to Chueton, Kulnyang in the biggest number in Kachiba Ethiopia.
Wow. Wow.
And it was, and by the way, it was a function, Taban Kulnyang a collection of word Vijinke, Payam, dear there, because I don't know word. So go call go Kajal Queen, Joko Queen. I will get your blog, it's almost 1,200 men. Go Ninjal Mir, go Jalo, Jolena no Conti, Kokika Bay, Bagajal Quanway. Jol miti kokor jol ke kwan we in ka chen ma dung me ne ma dung me ne chi kwan we lu ma duk bu dong pe ni chane le me go ma duk re ma duk ke lo ko wa
Wow.
go ma duk re we la chi dong pe ba dong no go le cha ga ma taw di da go ma duk go di taw no di no ko re me le yu we rai no yu tong tor tong a chu bu wan gam ku tong wala tong a wer piat go di ni jato ko kwal ma nyang le ni ma ton in ja jal pol in belo So like you wajal beloka Ethiopia, I think what we arrived in December of 1987. And ke chol penye do kene yerok but yoku bet ke yerok there was nothing. So we started it ke refugee ke moga golen. Actually a military a KSPLA military a KSPLA military training camp. Now on Kujala go jala ka be convert into a refugee camp. Go jali auto. Na ye ke chir pe one. Ke to kulip ke to. To kulip ke to ka chin uto. There was nothing. And I remember aguri wa wa ka chin ko dalla I believe the school la I don't think no ngala ke talk or anything larian if I can remember. And so I live to cool to ka ja dali you can also watch the interview cha lo on ken pan tul jong ku ja online and you can find it along a lot of information. So go ya lo lottery na chi utat e pinya jalti na no go je ke tuo or ko chi pian ke recruited from military recruit ko won chi pyo kalat ko ja bere ke kwan ku le ku lu klan den lu ke form. So go lo blo ke chi pe the tem ku brane ban bi jalo to kulit ku jolte ano morning section ni ko ben mi adur we ben mi adur ku pyo we ku jalke ko utantung ku ber ko ka afternoon ber ke ben ku pyo ke ku ke utantung. That was a way to accommodate everybody. And so in Kelo Chanjabalo to Kulik is starting Chun Channel it was not planned by my family. And I ended up in Ethiopia. One worry, Cheben Koke, my generation, that many Benichan Chedong, Kujoko Loku to Kulik. And so the first idea, a local where Pew the King, Nacha, Pioimia, wake Abaya Bank at University of Sudan. We can be engineers, we can be doctors, we can be lawyers, we can be politicians, all of that future things okay can work and we took it seriously. So we moderators sorting on the screen with your copying. That was the first time lawman education seriously can yakon. Well, this is something I have to pursue. I have to pursue because in ke jodabai and Iran wuti and ere wong and here I am in Ethiopia. I can family the better here I am and so this is something I have to uh to to take seriously. We took it seriously. Before before ban a token before ban twing can do there was something can call. That also this is also why I took education very seriously. Waga to uti te chol panipitia ato ano ke chol ti nongran to so Sudan panipitia ato ten ti kin je mesa wani jol lo bor ato ten ngadi lom ato ten safari Sudan lom ten en to panipitia tin kichiro loy ayu na pe erjo ayu to mane Australia yene bibitu America ne I think she did his master's in actually University of Colorado around 1977 76 now on kajol duk kujolo hukuma village a jol to hukuma village ke ko pio de yin ko la nemur u ko no binde ne chol tongolo ke ko do muti ko ke war che ke ngadi ko ja che ke immunize ku kay lu lam yung che a chan ko ke ola re de ko cha on yung che ku de ken ko je me dai la ngadi me dai la toy pio ko pe je juk go jal jol yung che jol taw ri hay jol ben wuti pan pitia joben ku jol len cruiser de jol ko wuto ku jolo wuti yen weda metke jog man to jog e too young but win ma jog to gen ma jog e wari wo e polito ko jalula ya yuna pe jog yuna pe win weda ya pe ja wun bola yo no win weda go jalula ayuna pe e ben yande ka ti wuto ku ke myo che be mi da le ke myo to go ku jalo jogo lo ku tepe jogo myo to kana ting ku joge walwe ke wulen ye kene gonam jalta jana ko be wulen ye be na when is the time bi wulen ye ben ke dara be ya ku ka be ku be ki kire be loy a chan ba kire gen ba jok ba chol no awon te ka jalo ku jama mati yo meto uti den jalo la pia wulen ye ge ben mun bu wulen ye ben na go ma malwe ka chin wulen dun je gade a chin wulen dun je lo to college to chin dara be ya be ben wolwe nala dirmia kan bilo to college when number ben mi akwan barabe dia ba ngari aba geruti
Very powerful.
That was a story load at Cancun. That was before 1987 in Jalwil. So that pla lo chi wala be ku jola story yin kan chan education belum seriously ken ke ba loy and that manager jora that it was something I took in Cancun and something you take in Cancun it is stay with you ku ka ye loy and I think that is why to we successful in we got in screen you ne ki lomda na every single one of you could see that the moment you decide to look na baloi oh that's it it was it when ga chana baloi up to this time.
Wow. What a powerful story. No, kacha galwel, you straight that look at your back here walk. The man go in walk to heaven, all of us. So one person commented on the water liquid form. Well, okay, so thank you so much for sharing your inspiration and what make real education something very important to you right from your childhood. Before I can ask you like question about you know translating it to now, can you stretch it a little bit? Where are you now from that journey? Quite big a walk in what quarter is screen, but maybe there's someone who just stumbled on the U-turn show today and like the topic, but may want to know a bit about yourself. So from that on God in being your uncle, are you where are you right now and are you doing it?
First of all, I can say war chalo pay dro and chibula la len cruise la lom piano majung kwal mading kwan chibula tin one panan jonga gwek kujola weda met ko kwan chibula uti kula kang la gata me so that story has been fulfilled like loy war in July. I went to the cattle camp.
Wow.
The land cruiser. Would Georgia Belbam would have seen man watch Latin and we did what I promised. Now but Jalatin ta no man to there and thinking in my office in the University of Vermont. So minute one a good man so I never go minute and you be go class one like I that ye jammer class one a good class 4 Korea Ethiopia. What you ben bu ben pachala kute ku waji te ka poita wala waji la pan 110 9210 ina dil akwai jidi da kwal but waji la borer to ta ten pan duan ka poita on our way to Narus ku jogola jal ku jogola alo ga ya ku loku ka kuma waji bela ku dugu class 4 pen na ay bulo deledi Kedlir Kunum, we were worried that what we are growing too old. So what class a good number of us you on is smart what class 5 but you be skip Kuloko class 6 1994 1996 go on new the KCPA 1997 na lo high school la gol ka tilo boy kan JR scholar ko ne chol JR scholarship on ko diaglom ko chi luya pete dor. I was one of them. Aye year 2000 kan new KCSE kular kakuma and chibula pute from pay took to pay draw na pay draw ko opportunity on ban America de ne gabo wo ben bo mantene the team. I pay ber 2002 kan go to University of Vermont. So and bachelor degree cha be in economics and political science. Ku ber dutin again go and master degree cha be MBA in business. Ku jal University of Vermont la Harvard University belok ber another master degree bela be in public policy. Kanting ku jabela du University of Vermont in jan Ph.D. betolwa in education, focusing on economics of education. Right now, and Louis, two colleges, and Louis in the University of Vermont on its strategic enrollment. In the my portfolio, so and Louis with the dean of this school, and the faculty and the pure Vermont State Vermont State College system, and another appointment. So in my job, my other community engagement and get board community. From 2015 to 2019. So you might have seen a lot of negative videos out there about me, or positive videos, a mixture of those. My other engagement. So in case I can wake up in so any educator from day one. When a community organizer, in my other personal portfolio. In case I can.
shukran areta Dr. Akol ne history pia in work tag wan chana na ting ka ki to among the quite big spotlight gola penetier so go pio miara ret ko anko ba chuba ping areta nongin tila bihaga lon win che in chat education do it so education do acho inspire ko kachi objaka level dan to tin kana so boko chwar nyen ne ke choko ko to pe ni ten ko dai ten I think abeke chwar nyen ke pia da red pire je ke duona wen ye wel bakadang kedun chata ba chu fulfill kun kana cha ben fulfill so e cha ben yin nom lan yen koltok imbe ben ko ki gerland cruiser wala imbe ben ki ya successful one day of which I cha lawyer ship so nong ran to pe ten anything chata yipyo e mas bar ba shift na cha yipyo tawtin so e kana tawa ya ku kana amir wo pyot yen question batij et lobya ka enrollment kujala ka when barriers ka when education law affect especially when ko ka gata area a lot of people I law ko they end up kaka chi kadang chi kalawi il rana chilebe sukula chilebe la tol chelon che in that level of PhD randa ngaya dang tilabia ka enrollment ile benang ko ka when che kadang lo ye chon anang ko ka wen anang barriers ka wen ya ke gyo karan lo ka tiong so ka ki ka lo ke overcome di ku alo ba jora lo that level to within so starting from yi man yi enrollment ra lo masters for example en ko jala ko nang pure big law for masters ye challenges ko ke to ku ye ran ke overcome di so ye question dia kan
Yeah, thank you. Incha bele question do ke to twofold. One, and this is not again. It's called this ke bite or called this ke them and keeping them and comfort. It's against them. But ke ya can learn my own reflection on this is what our got our education in the hardship, and we took it to heart. With your non barriers, you always find a way. In deal lot kulik kuba deal way. On be walked let me just we arrive here I mean got other pay here 2000 be the first people who jol Benny good in 2004. So we came at a different time. But for the most part, Panchol USA, I don't know about Canada, I don't know about Australia, but I will speak about America. Education, wabo, already. If you are 21 in around it. So, in your bank, you kukuri your first job. By the way, you can't lose University of Vermont cleaning, by the way. No building talk out in your living and learning center, I can't wait. In fact, what turned out to be my office, I can't wait when we started. Yes. Living and learning center, talk out in the building through the window, talk out here. So,
wow.
let me just say this. Kia Corbalwell is Kia America is a priority. Louis. Education is never part of conversation. In could wake up in your dal into Bay America and the role now cool Lengalis give a pure Lengalis banang communication, banang bayajam, brother ping. Kuba Louis. Education is up to you, Bajal Quanchi with it. So for most of the lost boys and lost girls too, for them to actually take initiative, Kekaya down. Bedil find a way, bear resources, information, bedil find out a lot of the pure itself by a lome function of Tanwa to work in the archive, in the refugee camp, in the internal displaced person camp, and believing in education gain the way forward. In that initiative, in the and you can talk Lord Boy man, no PhDs, no medical doctors, no all the profession. There was never a plan. It was not there. It's a part of the deal on be work by a lot boy. Our own initiative, individually and collectively, community settled by education, by deal pursue. So one, I look at a woman, she work woman. A work harder enough. And I saw nang barriers at top. A kaya kego bakam. A kadakan walk over to in that keep including you away young people. Koke diska Biden nong yimi ko wayakon. They will never have that agency. That individuals initiative. Baka the court you kachira and the konyin. I don't think and so that is why important go away court on way parent who you could guardian non me thought in him we are involved in their life because experiences talk America and they have everything so they could get distracted easily and so being involved in their life important no ke ko ke dit ken or ko ke bo Biden ke yam lekin wo ko war te ke del nge jalwel including you put your nang barriers so ke you will always find a way below forward now na jati or chitia ke then ba as a team is going to be critical chan bala twin for example, on in anything on my wife, tiag, but can bachelor's degree only. So Kajwin Jaga Martin get part of my life. And she was she was and she's still a team. She was and she's still invested in my development. I think in my own experience by
Congratulations.
because that or a or a chati kuchira antuk or can guy involved back in the way at the team go with to you cannot actually be it would be hard balatwek in the level will and level and get I hope the question to bear. I think walk our period in the archive we will be fine. We will always find a way to go forward. Ko jol bebe di ko chuga di ko ke boke kur bi ku lege pire pani a lot of work. A lot of work and question and counselor. I think the only way to help them with education is kaya kalodin is to be involved in their life throughout in the level will.
Shukran red Dr. Akol question dia ja answered ko ya yana ke te ka ba kadang anang follow up ka ba loy te lo biha ka lona wen bene ran chi den wala ran chi dadik so ye kichingu de kal le bale ran tong the walk agor na in case na chiran lo outside especially inside the US Lebron blue thrive at the education activity. So a couple do a giant inspire. So it'll be an article gar maybe about it one day from ngadi cleaner to PhD student or from janitor to ngadi. So so Lebron blue thrive at the school key in Kininjalo Harvard University. So sukule jiten yarani ya lui thrive at the duanti allow bad that level balwa attain.
Yeah, so yes, so one of the things in coping, but one of the things I realized and in Canada, I don't know what your experience is, but work the way your way education something it's totally different. Can you call Biden education you go value it. But you prioritize above everything else. So already you are already destined to succeed. Kid the role and I think I have been in enrollment management since 2006. So I get them a very long time. Kid the role a mentorship, especially to be in a graduate student. I just here undergraduate. To be in a graduate student, bar for a master's, bar for a PhD, having someone, faculty, someone a professor, ran when his research or a professional interest, tongue can do, but not relationship when he could be under his or her wing, could be meant to be forward, very critical. Because the Chinese and it is easy, but now challenges will be banned along the even if we tabana bar for a PhD, it is fully funded program, so the money is not an issue. But Ran Blum to just support, be in full attention, Akol. And I believe Adil had the same here in Africa. On top of Ran mentor, your mentor, your advisor, Ran Wimblon to Chulum to see that you succeed. All my graduate program, but there was one person in Chirogam, Kuleleman, Abadil Kwan, Beloti Chiti Lerentin, Ran Chirikanakor. Kidedia has to do with building relationships. Well, Kujola we with there. Work to be working in Kenya or Africa, getting good grade and so forth, it's easy. What is hard is building relationships. Relationship you will always need. relationship you will always need. For example, man, for whatever reason, man, see, kuno can be man at a time. I know on my list, I need to get out of here. How do we figure this out? You classic. I check you in the research. I check you in the formal meeting. You want la ruru yiti ko la chamtinu ko yiling or nachara iran one on in get wode gmiao something like that on when il bayno mo ngia ko latin, but you are actually giving out a good relationship there. So building any relationships, and I'm not saying in any way people should go out build a degangadi in the bus. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying every opportunity will interact with a person in a positive way, take advantage of it because of big one. Is this as you pursue your education, and I think I have not done it rightly. Kucha degree to katula to college do belatin. Hey, yes. At the end of the day, it's building the expanding your horizon. It's about building relationship. I can't lawyer it because I know how many degrees do I have here at University until now, University of Vermont and Harvard University. Every opportunity the bill will progress. Kuna opportunity bill to kule in law relationship kwa jaga bill already here. It's kulto in better law, better today. Bad experiences, but even mean bad country day. So be it. These are the few things that I can throw around.
Shukran aret dictor inche kaki akai answer kwa ya ngot kwa jwe to comment section they are learning ko kalu comment ko they are appreciating the program. So but liana la care ko benang question ti.
What you are talking? I don't call pure be book in America or below Canada or below Australia or below UK, below Europe. Political environment ekirogere man. What you got to imagine man walk out by in, but a brogade that person will go. Kuranda ben. I know ran yaren. Let me just say it that way. Yen to call in back when America you apply for a PhD program. In my recommendation, we got to screen internet, because PhD is always funded, is always fully funded. Enang fellowship, enang assistantship. You know, doing a PhD, it's a cool target. You are working with low research in the field. In the field now in interest in, so you are actually doing a job, and along the way web papers are back published with that person. So PhD is always fully funded America. The key is to get in. So I like don't think about money. Do what you need to do to get into the PhD program core, and the money will be there. That's the role command. You don't need to have a master's degree to apply to a PhD program. America, I don't know about Canada, because they are 5 year old through from undergraduate, 5 to 6 years. You don't even get a master's degree. You finish the bachelor degree 5 to 6 years. Now you go master's degree, you got hell with it. Get your PhD. So Koko guy took with only bachelor degree is straight to PhD. So don't wait. But really, you know, I'm can't Louis master degree. I'm can't South Africa. Now non good record. Kunong a good University America. No good PhD program. You know good record. Kuchola, you can do a bachelor degree. Apply for it, and if opportunities present themselves, you will end up here. in ke tin ka ba chwar an ko iten wo chakale.
Thank you, Dr. Akol. Chiman Chinirin Kuchala Akol, you've really brightened our day and our lives today. Can a story do education? And to be a Tabania Kula and be able to meet you and be able to learn and listen from you. I am taking your advice. I like to take notes, so keep going. We are listening. Question ya Ben kay long tena chiko jal bai I unbo Canada Cameroon ketiro. So even if I'm young in terms of run, I'm considered a mature student to start an undergrad degree. That presented their own challenges, but it did not stop me. I still went ahead and completed my education. So, question here about longer academic success is one thing. Quite about to be within Bangi Louis College is not problem. But to be successful outside of school, because you're not just coming here and learning is not just about bala classic. But Ben Bay, when you need to go and order food for yourself, to try and understand when people talk to you, accent in a village, to beyond kintok education, and you are now trying to break into the workforce. There is always some challenge that ran a little bit of good degree engineering, but end up kachi lui field carbon lui thin. So I think this is more facing students that are just going or thinking big ben pana here because of ben chuat to how do you advise them to take education, approach education outside of the classroom, besides doing well in your courses? What should be your number one priority? You touched on a lot of the things like mentorship, using your resilience to drive you, so you can overcome obstacles, building relationships, and being aware of opportunities and just putting yourself out there. But what are the day-to-day strategies to build those relationships, right? And Ben, people talking about going to Hawaii, never been to Hawaii. So how do people actually connect? How do you connect?
I think a lot easier for young people because you relate to Cocker a lot easier than us. If you look at the Gala Bajala transition through refugee camp to here, it's very hard to fully integrate into this society. So you know way even tong duan lengalin duan ega go da garage but tong kan kaden. So it's a lot easy. Easy no way here because you will find people wait. Come on view. Let me just step back. Example at the University of Vermont. On view what University of Vermont in it. Music a good work out miti kor. Aji chirman war bi we kok war gun kan we ka wetum. You could actually you relate to each other. Here. In fact, I know Professor Charles Skill on Royal Political Science. He just had a Ph.D. in my age mate, and he was my professor here already. When Kukudi first year, the second semester first year. So Wake did and so on and gave the first person the book. One Kubora and Chola Chiermo, Abraham Wallet, Bureau Quaid, teaching Kwanya Bila Jalbe Beneta. So what we end up doing, he support Buloy, Kimanakwachon yet, we kind of clung together. We never branch out. We walking by ma one kawajad walking by lo yi first of all a function of a cake akor kuwa coded so every hard we are relate to each other so picture of lo watch by start together while dining only together kuwa jam tong jeng kuwa ke
So what's the first year? I can't enjoy the tour. The first year, freshmen events. I can't enjoy.
We enjoy no why coded the job. In fact, I was already married, by the way. Kokol school under the tree, so a kid we enjoy. We were here on campus, and then white together, and so to your point on Lewa Benbay, it was hard because those relationships are carrot bill, and it become a challenge because being an A student, being honest student is one thing. Having done things, kaya lawyer outside the classroom, kaya lake up, bingalon jadi bingalo lagol. Na tum chwa kwachi relationship, ukachinda cha lawyer outside the classroom, it become really hard. Banang ba gol to lay into balagol in American professional world. So kachira kage kenikalo. So what do you do? And this was part of my research work. Achirka wunja lwel any relationships, and I'm emphasizing it now, okay, where young people any relationships. Even cholo Iran, ye do wipe and chicken kuba you nonge. Don't overlook it. Embrace it, kulwa nature. Because it might be what you need. It might be the only contact you need a chan bingo kind of team. So important, those relationships are important, any extracurricular activity. Low school get involved. And community engagement. You can outside of campus, get involved. And voluntary work, get involved. You will always find somebody interested in what you are doing, okay, interested in helping you succeed. And to be successful, right out of college, you need that first job. That first professional job is all you need. And how you perform from that job moving forward will depend on how you perform, kind of thing. And so, Kilabalwell, I will wake away young people, just do well at the school, of course. You have to do well at the school. But anything lawyer outside the classroom, the school get involved. Don't go back to your room. Get involved because it's important. Any internship, any experiential learning, any voluntary work, any public speaking engagement. I see Akol doing a lot of things. Go out and do those because you will find yourself needing those contexts. I can even name an example about me. Kujola Manding Timachar. I think our professional jobs actually stems from the relationship we built. And so in an academic performance, I can say it again and again, academic performance is not a problem for all of us who are South Sudanese. We will always do well. It's what happened outside the classroom.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I just want to stress relationships are very important. KHL, when you want to advance your education later on, yeah, master's only a PhD, you would want to a core academic reference. Ranchi in PH as a college. Kuna keneneng relationship keneke they don't know you enough, then probably will not be a good reference. Same thing, community reference. Community reference abeben and ankoi chinkalu extracurricular. Get involved on campus. In student clubs, make sure you are doing something and connecting kind of people. So thank you, Dr. Akol. I will pass it on to Dorcas to ask the next question.
Okay, wow. This is a great discussion and it's so inspiring for sure. So the question I just want to ask, okay, apart from us that are listening now,
Hello? Go ahead. Oh, okay, sorry.
all right, sorry, I have noise background. So apart from us that are watching today, that okay, in South Sudan now, talking as a South Sudanese that can advise or mentor the young youth in South Sudan right now. concerning the opportunities out there in the world today and how they are assessed. So what can you tell them, right? You know our condition, limit internet, limit connection, and so what can you tell those that are listening today and they won't really assess those opportunities, starting from degree, masters? So what can you tell them? And is there possibility of how they can assess them online? And if it is there, then how should they position themselves?
Yeah, so uh, I since I on in talk, and when I graduated from University of Vermont year 2006, and I went back and got married and chibalo balanim bala board, and from 2006 until 2017 and a Kinbella. But since 2017 and a law every year now is what I'm doing. I go every year. Quenela die, and I never went to any government office, obviously, so I don't know what happened inside those offices. And I end up getting engaged outside plus community things. But any locula die. One thing that is very, very clear, and I might be wrong because it's in empirical analysis, it looks like our people are getting educated. Internally, in South Sudan, they are getting degrees, a lot of degrees from University of Juba, from John Garang University, from University of Upper Nile, from Rumbek University, from University of Brakazal, from East Africa, from the region, and 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 from here. Uh, the question is what opportunities do they get after getting those degrees? And shockingly, it looked like a lot of them are without jobs. They are without jobs, and that is a very tough situation to be in. Now, here in America, you can get a degree here, and if you don't get a job in your field, you can still go out there and get a job. Okay, and it still make some money. There, because the economy is non-existent. So I see a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of uncertainty about the future. And so, what kind of advice should I give them? Goya coach pure coach nang education go court of delay. Now, thinking about education, because coach vichai to should you then not pursue education? The answer is no. You must. You must still pursue them whatever way. Them whatever way the being would lose that education, losing access, because you will need it down the road. They could have caught of delay. Na chi coach ba college. When we talk of college in America, it's college and university are the same thing. Now, Africa can maybe two different things, but when I say college, a university are there. So, Nari reach Butler College outside South Sudan, in law, and any university within South Sudan tell be an opportunity to learn go. There is a question about quality, and it's being debated, and I need to be careful. I will stay away from the question of quality, whether the degree you get, have you actually learned something or not. What I can say is it is still an education. You can still leverage it. You can still learn. If you really want to take time and invest, you would still learn something and you will still develop. Kumukilo succeed. Access it within South Sudan. Na just a second. The power, you can't out the power. Good. Now live rot below online, go for it. Now live lot below within the region, go for it. Kakagadia, ayake ngadi, ayake support, any opportunity being we learn, ayake support. Ranjito kinom loyman, there is always something to do as you wait for that dream job, for that dream career. And on Kalibakaloy through personal initiatives, small business, in farming, you can go farming. You can go farming. A good bit of time when you have been your education, been a use. People have figured things out. On social media now, actually turning to jobs. There are ways to be engaged in Dockers. I don't think there is room for despair. There is still a lot to do. If there is a way to get a job outside South Sudan, whatever that job is, then go for it. Go for it. Take care of South Sudan. So, bad reality until 2017, until 2018, until 2024, until 2025. It's a lot of disappointment right now. And it is something that somebody like her thinks about to help those people. It could be their careers because startup. But in terms of access to college education, I feel like people are getting degrees, a lot of them.
Yeah, sure. AI, and you have just answered in Bankwatangim. It is so a lot of us are really getting those degrees, and yet the third party is getting a job, like we have said. And yeah, the fact remains that you are answered that you can do anything to wait for your dream job is the right word at this time. Because the fact remains that if you really need to do something concerning your dream job, one time you'll make it. If you just try to do what can bring the food to your table right now, then you keep on exposing yourself. Like, we haven't just talked about social media. Like, you can do something concerning your interests and passion and all those things. So it is really great. And as we have said, if it is online or anywhere, I think now the point is just doing anything right now that can really support you and push you until you get your dream job. So thank you. You have answered well. I think I'll be here.
All right, I think it's me next. Thank you, Dictor. And Chipping and Chidol and Chachin, my dear, your thin jam, you know, one or rule me. Let our speakers speak, but I don't think the only okay. I'm pointing a judge that I want to be part of it. So your storytelling is really powerful, and I think that is the reason of the U-turn is to really create awareness through storytelling. And you have touched a lot of things, and many people your age mate are totally in group 9. They are proud of you, and young people that are also learning. Kusara, I don't know, call you Jibanial in a ball. Dictor, Dictor Matoro Donald, they are engaging.
Donald, Matodot, you wouldn't get a Louis, is school founded Panyado. So when we done that, yep, Dodo Machu, Donald Liere, one of the founding teachers, Louis school founded Panyado. Ajal Queen Mathon, Pinchol, Chol matwar chi ya dito on ka kin dito ka jal kui.
Matwar abanya say yon choke you this and that India and yeah call but so in jam a lot about you know the drive and motivation and how hardship actually harden people, and our people have gone through so much hardship that anything that need resilience one. But now, when it comes to education, there are two challenges that I really want, and many people I think they are based somehow comment section respond. But to summarize, education right now, you know, what generation were refugee come it's a hardship sitting you have shared the difference that work getting education is a issue. But translating education into economic success in K issue, and that need youth and that needs some mindset shift in how we use education as a tool to empower ourselves economically and socially and politically somehow. But can you bring it back to our own community, especially GM community and Dinka community in particular? We have seen a lot of challenges in our community with young people not being as motivated as our parents or as older generation because you know they have seen education of their elders are not translating into something that they can aspire to. Also, you know, you can inspire will be our futures of tomorrow, but the tomorrow is now South Sudan. In Dictator call right now, we are supposed by our economists or policy advisor to the country, but right now you are advising in a different country, United States University. So really, you know, what you had hoped for, or the potential that you know that you have that could be tapped into that can country the better work aspire the young people be motivated and rallied to not to strive toward that. And so many young people right now are have resort to violence. They are no longer inspired to shape their character, their mind to be future leaders, because leadership is not working. So from your own experience, how can you change the mindset of these young people using how education for your own self is working out for you and for the people around you that you have seen that succeeding in different capacity? How can you advise young people to see education a tool for character development or also for community and country development, even if things are not clear as they are? And also, we're to be in a bonus, political, if you don't want to answer, it can do answer. In our community, ku ban and Akol har ku ja gun ma jok kan proud and jaga ma jok dia kan chol kan chan dia kan chol kan dong wa kan war kan yen but now I'm dictoran kun Ph.D. but ben I am proud. I don't have to talk about my degrees or my credentials. So how can we use that mindset where we appreciate what we have, because the new forms of better work community inspire and high degrees, but our community vilify educators that are coming to use the education to bring youth in the community. If you don't answer that one, but
answer.
That is discouraging young people from looking up to us or others for inspiration.
Yeah, so a twofold. One is yes, Kaka South Sudan. Yep, thank you, Matware. So then into 1987, come on. So so we're twofold. One, here is my education philosophy. There is this debate, education for career. A career preparation, you get the skill sets, then you use those skill sets. That is true, largely true. But I think it goes beyond that. I think education, call where were there, where moderators could die. To me, can you call education actually enlightenment? I think enlightenment. I think if you look at program philosophy, that this is where education is. You really think. how you think, how you evaluate things, how you evaluate information, all of those I get you through education. How you make your decision. Whether Bajal Louis Makta Bajala or Louis, it will come later. Okay, I get it. But Bakanang is important. And so when there is this debate, and we are having it here in America, when there is this debate, Yelwela, oh no, social sciences are humanities are useless. I can value on more. Let people go into a STEM field. STEM field take angade, lui, but science, natural sciences, but queen, but medical school and so forth. I will even America now that's conversation. I cannot think that the queen cannot value to the society. All these social sciences, all these humanities are waste of time. I crap. Let us not focus on them. The Harvard University president, it's all Drew Faust, a woman, a president, a young graduate student. That debate, a historian. That question was put on her table. Go really, let's put it this way. College natural sciences, when where would it look like? It look like so college natural sciences when anong technical expertise will be cured to COVID will be low kungoban. But at the end of the day, what you do with that science education, humanities, social sciences, in a bed decide what value does that education have to you and to the society. And not like in humanities, and not like in social sciences. You just decided whether that science is good or a bad. For example, there is this advancement now, living a human being, living a clone in the lab. But which in the lab a lot of each other. Is that a good education? Is that a good science? So who answers that question? There are no philosophy. There are no social sciences. So the point I got really is education in a qual is right now can use that in a way that benefit him or her. A collection of society, an educated society across the board, putting quality of life indicators. The quality of life is much better compared so education largely, whether you get a job or not, important. In terms of betalim the luel and but I have been accused, by the way. I have already suffered from that. Right now, my brother, Akol Aguek Ngong, he did charet. Brain nowadays is a hate song. Akol Aguek can talks about himself, can talks about Dierke, can talks about okay. But Akol Aguek cannot say anything about university. It's a problem. And how do you inspire people to Harvard University? How do you expect people to actually dream? By saying it, then people actually see themselves going there. If this person were a queen to go to school under the tree, and you can go to Harvard University, everything. So I think about answer Bajala political problem or not, but I think by compliment maybe a chiran belwell, but let be but I think by compliment chiran loy, Bayalwell, inspires the next generation, and I think it is okay. But maybe you, the person in Kachil Belwell, but I'll be cock, I'll be Jalwell, in Kaya Yulbanke, Kidubana Berina Paul.
Thank you, and I hope Chiban Bul Manyoga Chilwell could Dom DJ because I can't put young Aguek Ngong a hit song and get on top and Bori man. And many people are aspiring to be Kotowood, to be him. But Akol cannot say until Harvard, issue. And so I think it's high time to make a U-turn. Now, Iran thing from this conversation, get that take away. You need to take it back to the table, to the chai, wherever you meet with friends, and say that it's good to set a vision for future, and spotlight people when to that road. When I was personally, I'm not really a indicator. And even I can't then young people come to in darkness, catching role models, because when I was growing up, I didn't have great role model in a community that I can reach out to. And I didn't want that. I don't want that to happen to other young people. I want someone to qualify be you of P.D. or Canada. You would did you GRS or other scholarships or opportunities that are available. So I have to tell them that I got it, and if someone wants to know how, I show them. So I really applaud you for endorsing that and for confirming that. I know
supplement before we move to the next question.
Okay, so you can next what you doing, gonna 2-3 more questions and close the show. We took 90 minutes. So take it away, George.
Yeah, shukran aret Dictor. Kena question yen chukuti yen chete yin man thio e chukut discuss wan chen au kwal ben Kigali ten, you know. Yen ke chuku ben analyze keto this issue chayin kawin chagor chayin ero la lom chelay akana that mindset ako abanyai a cheni yin ngi, okay. So ayale akwal most of koi ko na e ran ne chola wa riaro na chol ngwa yindi chama ne na chol kwera buta wo kana. So jenga chin problem kan yen lekin na lele nan che garate nan che yele ekene mindset kiti akor bishif sukul le yen ka to chima na go kwan UK go wala bi chola but kana yen equivalent sukul na lui translate. So if you don't talk about your education, I think rale bengi, okay. So nino anyang ka biar chanan ka skills kaya advertise. I think rande ye ban nonge. But one chan ka ban advertise LinkedIn kungu. Rane libe ben hey queer I saw kana on your LinkedIn. So you capable of doing this. So can you help me chatting? So you know live korot ko yen ti declare pe nomtin. Lekin if you keep quiet, kil bad job when when a degree do that. So question but teach it love ke chola mentorship. So ayanka kabat tiyin, you know, ye ketiek chirmu chi mentors chike jwain wan low in PhD do. You know, ayang a PhD is something I'll be crazy. Ekor I know quite council ko jala mo chera anto kon jamalwele the manile in CMU aloko yo ke actual wellness center at the quite council. Ko to jota yalwe yo ke no quite council yo to tinuan. And now chip class chip goal go ya you first person below wellness center below council. So how can this mentorship could allow you counseling you can kwanya di as you pursue your PhD?
First of all, you really don't need a PhD. Nobody needs a PhD. I just want to say this. Can be called Dr. Akol. It's the point the being PhD. You don't even need a master's degree actually. Once a bachelor's degree, okay, in America here, as long as you have the skill sets, in ke korbala loy, but the key skill can build there enough. Already, the way America education system, yen lui, you get what is called liberal art education, ke undergraduate. So you get exposed. Kachirga ne agalwel that broad based, well-rounded education. Hey, you through bachelor's degree, so you got all of that. The being a functional member of the society, the being a critical answer. Kachirga kato. And so I have to begin that the kin bachelor's degree you create enough to go for it. Law Louis, lawyer successful. I specialize professional degrees. Chirmani medical education, Chirmani nursing, Chirmani maybe natural sciences, Chirmani law. You just cannot be a lawyer by just appearing on the street. Kachirka kato, but for the most part, I think the core, PNB actual doctor, in learn PhD core, you are wasting your time. It's need for it. Now, in the course of my education life, go class 1 on Galanen, good man, there is always somebody I lean on academically. One person, more than one. Somebody I could go and throw ideas at them. Somebody I know genuinely in their heart, my success in them. Before ban PhD ban answer very quickly, but to go and cheer on the man on Ethiopia, there were people that actually mentored me. People here and Gale were remember almost 40 years later. And I'm still using that word. Barot motivated and by successful. A few of my mentors, Leba Kalwell, Titkaran Barantuel, maybe from the young age. Erani chola running yet. Yen enner Roma kudite educator eran di ten ni chipio around yet. Kayen on in the year penny car on did ma kudita ken bedaj ben yal no koji a Philip Kidajalon Kachibe can't water by on in a year penny. You can remember your dad.
I think you know,
So I know call Chibedung. Ken died below Ethiopia. Night on Yell walk on it, book will go tally met gam Kuluran Toke intellectuals. Tijal, Bor, Tijal, Juba, Tijal Katu, Kuchibula Uti or hidden must report to Ethiopia. Echibo Daben ran top. You must go. So around it, Korea around it, young Koldenga was coach which intellectual on the Kenbe law, Ajal below. So aro keka yiding at what Keka Louis school established Panado, he wouldn't Matwarman in here. Kayen Uncle Aro. Ebe I will send that briefly. I don't know it and deal away, but ebe I will send that briefly. Now on Gajo pure Kayen on Panado. I'm not good no maybe non going on exposure to it. Definitely, quality non exposure. No, I know notebook, you go UNICEF. You die on. Keka Kelly, Kidan Pajudo, you tame Koro. rana bang jor ku jorana bang
En get yellow and you could this place cam walk I get them up.
around the go uncle ro go ben ku pi work a win ke chola balar maktab je chabla yen pul ngadi ke ken tem ko jolo woni nyan kay jolo en kwar ngonkur e ma jogo ne ma jayo so abajalta e badu bala ma jayo kay ba pyo che mandien ka bajala ga du lom notebook do can it stuck with me usat uncle usat panchol jong kuch kere ko pachala kwani chanon brumnanyan ke ya weldom wulule men man bi ko tiya pachala bro kwala bangela del bor bu kala to kula le mis wen chale dom ku bi ku chule na rande chol matur wulule kene ma bud mach ba lar gol ku bala chwo te jene do matula be ku jolwe die ne moyega jolwe die yongu chakwal chen hina ma wala ka chi chakwal jalera antie ne re yelwe ba rangai kwal ba kul ba wan of course watch very one uncle good bu ben arut it is stuck with me ko chirmane yi uncle guy de nga lera nyi ko chirmane yi uncle de nga chwot ko chirmane yi uncle garanga lir kur all those people are an kan like even your dad daman chala niyoku 1995 kekene marena liador they set me down kula yung china gawla tukula liya bakaku mabadung na ene kia volunteer ene pio tente kaya yu sanduan tena kwal don we badung na kwal la badung man those stuck with me ko chirman yi grang tiyo jwa grang majro ta to Canada ten gonna wait utandia ko chirman yi ko acha jare ko chirman yi Nicola Gabriel Daw mo nya be alen dal gobi a ko iran ka jor bala ñu one yen individual ku lerana wer blue is stuck with me kind of thing of course ko chirman yi ngade ma kola jang to ma call played a role red ke beraran one when Walanda did one him red ma call played an important role on most of us work on the pin kage ke ben in kurai mentorship aka ke loiro da man wa ta kemeje in fact ran chola agria yuen yuna pa jer jo ato Australia man ku jola we ni kle we nya tur no wo ya we nyir gwele ku wa ke utetche they once crack a joke agria yuen ne cha yong go lo ne ne chimba la chimba Dubai mi ba la ya ma job go we nya tur go le kaliu wala ya kan ya education rate jole ka be pyo ka ko je ka pyo rate ku ka chi bela duai nim lo era ke chi le lo wala ya pyo rate but a chi lo era ka chi bela du which is something I'm grappling with right now. So all these are in inspiration to lawyer and ale ba ko bi kwen to kula Kenya chalatin ale ba ko bi kwen high school ale ba ko bi kwen ibn garangali kur Uncle Gran on in librarian kakuma kucha lo library je lekal tu lo ticha ye bungo kor anong section de che access kule ku kure ne bungo bi ku chiwa ba kwen all of those are I opportunities chakayo I mentorship opportunities na le bere PhD ke ko le ba name ran le ba name era ni chol Harvard University era ni chol Nicholas Byrne is my true mentor. Ale ba telephone kwa man kula Nicholas Byrne ko ba jale mu the next contact kala ba put in touch can 5 people right away. Nicholas Ben, a diplomat by training, Kana ambassador to NATO, Kana ambassador to Greece, Kana under Secretary of State for Political Affairs under Bush, recently under Obama NK ambassador to China. He took me under his wing. He even made me his teaching assistant and made sure that I get any resource I need by successful. Here at the University of Vermont, I'm a graduate level, in my Ph.D. advisor were, a all sincere is in a chat under her wing, and basically she loves my research, focusing on education, economic of education, and access to opportunities. And she made sure I get all the support I need for good talk on time. So generally speaking, but your check Kebran wo bujal pio che mandun che man to we screen it no otene achiran to ba kwa che ko ke diti ti jolina look back jo tinge ko je di chi kwon ka more than 100 along the way. So in the product ko you were produced by a lot of people chan bajato to intin, and therefore it is your responsibility Baba contribute to development of other younger people. So in getting the band coaching can input.
Shukran. Incha answer. So, abayan alakir.
No, thank you very much. And I'm sorry, Damanachila Heritage. If it's okay with you, Dr. Akol, the last question you touched on it, and it's about family, contribution of family to education journey. I think each one of us, and when Chirat happened in your life that understood the value of education. And for me, it's someone who have never gone to school. My auntie akin kon use classic. I could Bible book in Zadu akin lo suklan tonga jian. But she believed in education so much so that I was curious. Why is she believing in education? Man one man called by num tap in college. So cool pido bagir and all that. So many advice and sessions of brand bijam one. So I just want you to emphasize a little bit about family. How can positive talk, and it's not just my auntie, the uncles that I watch growing up college. They went to elementary, they went to high school. They will invite me in their study session. Okay, Bar, let's go and study. Gami and book back when it and so those habits I and they push me in spending my extra time nata by kuchaneng damantina. I'm more likely to be seen can book or I'm revising my homework and such. So just focus a little bit more on that, and then Akol will come in to ask the last U-turn advice.
Yes, I think a chin successful family liutin in a lake who were there. Family, generally family, could your community. Family in your sanctuary as a person. Whether you ran it or you met the family in get team, the yellow you in get team like get hunkered. In get team like in yellow long by pure in get you get to support the artist safe for you. And especially in IMT, this is where Corby met Ben love embrace. Could you allow positive reinforcement? But now conversation when I miss Kuba homework the thing, I don't I don't do a lot of work in that. I think Monday that's a lot than me. But jamamet Kuba homework the thing, Kuba thing you much learn today, could tode. Even the chicken chow watch in said when you man could can but turn by spin in a way le inspire a good in get your community too, a extension of family at a larger level is still going to be key family reinforce, kule community reinforce in kemet inspire, but are successful. In Kekeayo, ke level well la care. I think our family either meet or you go call the human when contribution of my wife toward my own development educationally and professionally channel well, and I would say likewise in a way that I think is important. So on because it then for the sake of time, and no question no question theory take when the cha one, but anyway, no question think to internet. But
you can speak to it if you still have 1 minute. Not and
yeah.
to a gin package very sensitive that I'll also have before we close.
Okay, it's good. So Rana chat teach them ya teaching in talk pin. What happened? Yeah, anong na cha der ki ni ot. En kan tok chen le pin. Ku en go ki ko jal be chi ko chi dira cha e kor. E cha ka tum tao ke le pin ba ju go dak. Yen ki chro loy before we was 1987 ke my father blo uti ma bioro gwala le ku jor wo ben le mi da le ko just before we was kana tin go lo kule wo Iran when it so kichiro lo en ti bo when it can wait ben that show how young I was so ka chen ga man a chirka ko murele a chirka bor go tun ke ro go dung a kin ba chil kulo la chen ho na lar pa nyodo ya kai pa nyodo la ke tul chil ka so ke ka gor ke to so en chi Iran ne ti en chi chana ran di le bena o it was assumed ga der go out when get culture jeng so culture kana ken we be there we got to screen in we the attend I think or for the second Philip kur ke ka chilo mi ke gam ke or because I era ni chupio but otherwise in get to that thing get ni Iran ni ti it just happened a few months before we were Ethiopia. I could actually elevate pinyale bagataman but I check a beta we are too late I'm jare
you ya comedian ka jande dal ke ni comedian. That's so funny. Thank you. There's also many questions to comment section. So, esteemed audience, thank you for asking them. For about the time you have blue response, time I will respond, or we will continue this discussion later on. Once a U10 guest is always a U10 guest. After we always come back and fill the gaps here today. Someone actually sent me a very important question. I will be anonymous in my inbox. Really, dear coach, I can answer. So I want to go extra time. Actually, well, many South Sudanese, Dr. Akol, many South Sudanese, whether back home or in diaspora, don't appreciate how influential the Lost Boys story, in the early 2000s toward the independence of the South Sudan was. He said, can you have Akol Aguek to speak to, President George Bush's role in the Lost Boys resettlement, their empowerment, and how is sentiment pushed for, the signing of South Sudan in 2005 and the impact that opportunity to law in our community, especially light education empowerment, she lost boy, she champion within our communities as well.
Yes, so thank you. Yeah, thank you. Iran, the question teacher, in Domlue, question right. But where be resettlement Lost Boys, a got before a Louis approved them and Clinton. The last toward the end of term Bill Clinton in the Louis program, then we were Ben America in the Louis approved. Could you go a good cock on bo on Gelapay, Tier. By Thiokotokon 2000, Akaji President Clinton Echi Derke lame duck president. By then, Yel Gorgon George W. Bush Accord, Jolal Gor Jol Yi. Now, January, the President Bush Jol Benial, January 2001. Kalas. Could be with Jol the same program, Jol continue. So can be stopped. what you bring the war, but historically it was approved under Bill Clinton, bend America. Could you all put young would support in Kabia bender? Yes. The Lord boy, he nanga chi coin Benedor, South Sudan, I would say absolutely. Watch America to engage that you engage at multiple levels. State levels in Koya Waka you we told our story. At you really churches, at you really universities, at you really at workplaces. Kukelwele at Washington DC. So for the first time, the American big situation to South Sudan, Loyrot, big again, Lom, Bilule Koka, Abu Kakwan, a young kid from by the northern Sudanese. Or CPA liberal sign, you cannot talk about the CPA, comprehensive peace agreement, where in a bid or when it's by the team of South Sudan, Bijal, Dong Sudan, without Sudan Peace Act. Sudan Peace Act was a law passed by U.S. Congress. You are young, but if we can recall, the negotiation they go back then, I think in early 2000 through 2002, Kajalu negotiate a good protocol, second sign. Dr. Garang, a Ben America could do. Now, the only way the be work our position, the be working improve at the negotiating table. Is strong. So what did they do? Garang himself actually organized forces. Kapoita Dom actually. We negotiate either Nairobi or Naivasha. And then Dr. Garang advanced Dom to read negotiating table. Go Bachir, go negotiators, go withdraw. Kulekachin Belwell. Kenabu Jala Tolgate. Or Kujola all advocacy group in we all push for engagement of America. And so Kuchirabalo have been negotiated in the Congress and so forth. Sudan Peace Act be passed. And what was said very much in short, what was said was like, Kuma Sudan, there is no way a lot Bajal at negotiating table. Here are the kind of things Bokaloy, you work as PLM, SPLA, Kujola, South Sudanese. The only way out of this situation, Ebador Bagam, Ubadil sign, and then it was passed. Let President Bule sign into law, and it went into effect. So negotiating the negotiation on your law, good in 2005, I think Kuldung Kis Sudan can withdraw from the negotiating table of all the 6 protocol of a sign. Allah the whole comprehensive peace agreement of a sign on January. You cannot say that. Kilbalwell Becken without America. I know America Mantina Lom South Sudan Karaj could support, but without America, get Dore the Ken Ben. Without our involvement, America they cannot get engaged in our issue the way it did. So to answer your question, we played part there. Kukabu Alwell the Chenelwell. Now at all personal level, what part that you point at individual level? What you call pure? Young people like you are you got pure. Will catch you, will can look at Mata, look at Lon Kilon, on. What you call pure? What you call tear? Not what you call tear. And what you call let you? Call appeal. Call the support be to. What you call a boy? Are you called weak law Australia for market watch, but for the most part, walk will be the color law. So to me, I might be biased, but I will again generation with Ben what you kill meet you they will never be engaged. Could be can catch you got you go because South Sudan. A chill big low because I get these get and all they know is America. So generation kill Lost Boys, Kirman then. be ben yar panden ku be ka chi ga chu ga loy a cha ni jana kon when he stand by that statement no ngara lu challenge in get ban ko ina kwal we ja gale.
No, that is real. I don't think of any generation, even generation this South Sudan, lost boy, be alive to South Sudan and to South Sudanese. I personally, I believe in that.
Có wer wo có wer cho gam concession có wer wo ga cái có wer ji bai tor có wer ji la tong ji tu ku nong gu han tu ku chi có cái lo có cái ji man ko rem cái kai ko e ben ku bu ku ke chok
100%, 100%. And we are really grateful. We need to organize a thank you, Lost Boy event. Kiti bu host worldwide. Non virtual component we are in person. For Lost Boy, we can glad ke pire ke dia ke young ke rira go ke dia. Contribution in South Sudan and South Sudanese and people like us. For us to access opportunities to work within one generation, we benefited so much from you guys, and we are really honored and grateful. So finally, to close the U-turn show, we usually ask our guests to share the U-turn message. And not only our guests, even Koto in the comment section, we also welcome you. You have listened to Dr. Akol from the beginning to now. If you have any U-turn message or your advice for change, for transformation, for empowerment in our community, in that you can post the coach and time to watch the whole 2 hours conversation. So, Doctor, finally, what is your U-turn message to families, to institutions and communities to put in place support systems that are needed, really, really most needed to help young people thrive in today's changing world? We don't want legacy, but don't care lost boy. We need younger generation to also participate in building their legacy, something that they are proud of, something that now look at the other you can work at empowered and we pay it forward what you call empowered. So what would you give all of us to help them be the leaders of tomorrow?
My U-turn message very simple. Ran ra yo ke adults ran di ben ran ra yo ke chiara di. You have something to offer a young person. You have don't overlook yourself. It doesn't have to be a material gift. For the most part, they were live in a and it helped me to this day. So whatever you can give young person, you were live, resource, connection, don't hesitate, don't overlook that. And what was there? What can kur kujol ku dir bu chairman kudaman kur work there where coach dir mandane that actually went out of their way. Kukonka work our parent, kukachi our relative. So in that sense, any jam kulwela yen in kemetsen balwel to young people, don't second guess education. Education is it. Is it is it and it's even evident on the screen. When you think with yakatan kwe jala traditional setting then war ko watch platform chulu here kubu jam was equal voice, but education no way equal voice will kiyo yo panda kon what and I think ran chichake ti ran chake mo could be the same energy, with the same ideas, with the same mindset be tau together in ke by latwing. So young people, please pursue education. Adult too, you never grow old. There is always time to learn. So na chachara and it kuna opportunity bin bilo tukule do it and not go kwenye. But otherwise, again, my U10 message is as an adult, you always have something to give and give it to a young person. Because I remember Kwabel Wele Konde, Nandeng Chakwan Kinawan. Kuna loy kraji ya daga remember me. I can remember Kadia. So I'm going to wait a college.
Thank you. That's powerful. That is powerful. Even the last point is very interesting. We don't want to leave bad memories. Philip told me this, and I have to prove her wrong. That should not happen. Let us empower young people. Let us be positive force in their life. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing your time, your wisdom, your experience on the U10 platform. You are highly welcome to stay back for a few minutes. We'll be commentator in Lualwell for about 5 minutes to be the co-host. We could get 3 takeaway, big share and call to action to our viewers. But if you have other commitment, feel free to drop. We really appreciate your time, and you are always welcome back to come and educate us on this platform. Thank you, thank you. And to you, Quinn, you are died pay. You get the only guy on this. And you capture 1 year, Sunday. I will well at the U-turn has come, Dr. Akol well, that women and men now can sit together and shape the future of their countries together, and especially very true in the context of our community. So, Queer, if you were to go home today for the, what are 3 lessons that you have learned that you would want others to remember from this conversation?
Yeah, shukran, walku, shukran aret, Dr. Akol, kiche in invitation da, che in honored. So, kacha ke glan, tung chanyara ret, eke jamala, balog, kuba networking, wala ba friendship baloy, Ke networking akwale very important because na kemre to chin networking te loy kayen kakwara. But if you make networking wana koi ko tau ngadi ache necessarily big ya koi ke country do so koi went to be ka bi in chalu thrive anang kang dan tau ten so where dom nema na ko ba dom sura wana ran ka le mo ba dom keret ngi jadi man nang kol tong bana lo office du wala kol be in nang office real so secretary do na ko bian deny entry so kel ba yo yi no ran kana ngi kana ting o ga tauten so para pen cho an tek so akana networking etong da ka wen korot why then the man luin education luin pursue always ko ba koi to chien koi ka pan dun wala family dun ben ko ba ke ya muk ko be ke ya to ni no jala to ngaker ke yaran to pinya ten just akor ba picture akor ba chu turinom ko picture korin be in the next 5 years well in the next 10 years when ka wen chi dictora che kadang well one day am ben wana land cruiser but ben fulfill so yang land cruiser du yin ran ta ten so land cruiser dia atawa apio en ka chok land cruiser du atawa impio shukran.
Wow, what a challenge. Young Land Cruiser. I think that's deep. Alakir.
For sure, for sure. I always when I meet I tell you karan when talk around it, I try to learn as much as possible and more so kachakengich. So I've learned so much today from Dr. Aka. It's unfortunate I and you've been aware about Dr. John Garang on the day he disappeared, Lula Chamar. And people were telling me, "Oh, chuo jabero ki ko jobi wan John Garang. Jawa white teach. Ye one more they were the heritage." So over time, I got to learn about Kichi John Garang Chiloy and other people. What are their contribution? And I hope social media Chiloy meet, but I hope some of these lost boys big or biran bo organize I diet and kuna U10 history channel kabalo on YouTube. Please go for it. Kuye koi ke ka be back interview chanchi history da chi bijal kene ke pira kora like brand jal ku akin history akin wan kana we always tell stories in our culture. A kuku ake yen ke lotwing, yen ke kojama, yen kojian lessons, and I think a kuku pan Sudan is one that needs to be told. Is one that need there's a gap of education, especially for the young people. And they're very young, but I still don't know so much of what happened. Kichiraloy, why am I here today? Okay, there was somebody called John Garang. Yunguchuloy John Garang. Actually, U.S. Kulo Sudan Act. First time hearing about the Sudan Peace Act today. And it was Clinton, not George Bush, as we know it, that signed the Sudan Act just before he left and accepted the Lost Boy Big Ben into the United States. Big Ben will learn and fight for their country. So that's power of storytelling. If John Garang was not able to come to Bekawajat Bekala history, South Sudan, Akukul South Sudan, Akukul Koi Sudan, the indigenous people of Sudan and how they are suffering under a different regime. Adekachin Kiechol South Sudan. So I am a big appreciator of education and I'm always I take opportunity to learn. I meet somebody who's older than me, I'm like, what was the political system? And Chirana watched lawyer Wanya when Chile Beni Paul Berer Kochi. What was your definition of prison? There was no prison back in the day. Yak Loidi. So I learned about Kianokalo exile. Rana Yecho, Balarir, Vijat Kenakoke. So all I'm saying is, we're quite young. We have a lot to learn. We need to create those opportunities to learn and to get continue getting enlightened. Let's pursue education, certificates, and degrees, but let's learn truly about ourselves. Who am I? Where did I come from? What are my people? What did they go through? Things like that. So that's my takeaway. Do your education, but also learn about who you are. So if we do that, Mitiban Wachok may go back to South Sudan or they may know about their roots in South Sudan. So, Wapolitan, thank you so much. I'm going to go now to Mekisra. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. And Dorcas, what is your takeaway before we can close the show?
Okay, if someone asks me the summary of today's session, so it could be we have to connect with other people because what we do in the classroom is not really that more important than what we do outside. One of the challenges we face as a student, so we have to also connect, and I think doing that is when we join the communities of your interest, right? So you join the community of your interest and like you have to connect, yes, and you have to connect where you are interested in or concerning your career, and you have to sell yourself. Even the jam that that when you talk about yourself, many people will be like Nyara and all those things, but call woman jam work they compose the kato kam right the kato songs quite like rani mi the jawar jawar mi the jaken mi the that's what they do. They same time, and that's why we have those platforms that sell us outside. LinkedIn, what. You put your values, put your education, what you can manage, and that's it. So you have to sell yourself like the way you get well be in war mio du jara chwar ku jakenom yin to wi lady. So that is it, yes. And I that's where we are based now. For me and Jerry Kola, so I have to compose a song about my degree. So let's connect and let's join the communities of our interests and feel. So that's what I can say. Then, regardless of what, we still have to pursue that education either at home, online. You could be let outside, so you're gonna do it. And Chikaja actually that you have to have roadmap, something that is really making you to do that, right? Could be to change your life, could be to change other people's life. That one there it really push you and to make it help you remind every time you want to do this, and through doing this you will get there.
Wow, Wow, thank you so much for your reflection. Very powerful, very powerful. Just like what Kuri guys have said, and all kid and Andrew paid it, but you took late and you ten, you ten show enjoy today. We are the U10 here, Y educational platform, Y empowerment platform, and our role is to bring U10, which is a change in our community, to move from more negativity to more about prosperity and future looking and empowerment to our community. We believe in collective progress, and that's why we bring guests like Dr. Akol Aguek and others to come and spotlight them. Will be an opportunity to share the insightful journeys with us, to educate us on history, on education, on leadership and everything. So thank you that you enjoy our show. Why we are doing this on voluntary basis, a passion project, and the only reward we get is people like you spreading the word, share this conversation, and also nominating if not in our community, or if you know you have a story that you want to share that is positive, that is inspiring, that is educational, let us know. We can book by Babia guests on our show. That is how we collectively build our community. That is the only as we are doing. So if you are watching today, Queen, can this video can you share? Please share. In terms of my reflection on this conversation today, really, I'm really inspired by Dr. Akol Aguek humble journey and his role. And one of the major takeaway, Akin explicitly will on the show, but how he lives his life. Many of us, when we get education, we become different people from our community we work within. And so you see a lot of educated people, moving away from community. They become elite. But Dr. Akol Aguek is not one of that people. If someone to educational who led do community, and I he promote kaka community. We participate in community leadership. A man that your what in the black pan, young a lot rack. Culture. He has taken education, but he's also rooted in culture and community. And that is the power of education, that's the power of the youth and that we want to promote that. Let's get from the white man in the book of River Between and bring it back that wisdom to our community, then work community that bear uplift, then work bear empower, then work we progress. Keep the local create the local way, are rooted in our community, in our culture. And that's what my biggest takeaway. Another one is, the power of storytelling, of that it's one thing to acquire the knowledge, another thing to use it. You only use it by sharing it. So let us encourage people to share what they have learned. Don't do not mock people when they share what they got. I know there's so much negativity. And they're not fiction, Lost Boys, right now I know issues that are being disunity. We are human beings, but what they have done, I believe personally, is the good that they have done to our community is unimaginable, and it should be is spotlighted. Whatever the few people are doing that is bringing disunity, maybe it's because we don't appreciate them. And if you don't appreciate someone, sometimes they become frustrated and they act in a way that shouldn't want. So what we need to appreciate, the sacrifices, the contribution she lost boy, our community, and not like as if you can use and now we vilify them that our community is destroyed. They are not destroying anything. They are frustrated because the fruits of their commitment are taken accordingly. But there is still hope, as Akol Aguek say, and we should go out to plant seed of progress in our coffee. Well, ku kachiro loy or kalo routine our life ko ko di but look do chien today. Ke look le man pin bo chien binong good story mi abi alwel Andrew a pedi te ya le ken ka choen choy ran chirken. Degmaya, who's my uncle here, and and then PD Buwa. Matoru Dot has told me this one on Yanmet PD Benward. That is my another U-turn message and no take away from this conversation. So let's go out there and be ambassadors for progress, for the U-turn, for prosperity. And then, even I knew who are U-turn, we always have our show every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is Naida, South Sudan, because 40% of our audience are from Africa, South Sudan, and Kenya. Now South Sudan 7 p.m., now Kenya 8 p.m. Now Australia late at night. So we usually host a special guest from Australia on Fridays evening, which is Monday on the end. So thank you. Share this message next Saturday, World Ben, the same time with a special guest, Ranichol Deng Paul, about agribusiness. So go prepare and come and learn about agriculture and how can we turn agriculture into business that empower communities. It'll be a spotlight next Saturday. So you are welcome. Thank you, Puri Thank you, Dorcas. Thank you, Alakir. Have a wonderful Saturday. Bye-bye.